with everyone. Now we're tasting the fruits of so many centuries that we're trying so hard this dunya. And now you're telling us to follow you. Because all our riches, all our trading, all our business, all our dunya is based on what? Is based on what? Is based on tyranny. You understand? It is based on tyranny. It is based on those who have power, and they're going to suck those ones who don't have power. Those who have power and say, all of you, your position in life is just to serve me. Every prophet came to destroy tyranny. Never forget that. Every prophet came to destroy tyranny. During the time of the Holy Prophet, ﷺ, it was represented by Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab. You ever hear any riwayat, any stories, anything that Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, they are very religious, pagan Arabs? You ever hear? That they really believe in their religion, and they are very religious, following their religion. You ever hear? What do you hear? That they are what? They are the richest, most powerful ones. The richest and the most powerful ones. The ones who have the dunya under their feet, this world. Go back a little bit to the time of Musa alayhi salam. He was sent to bring down who? Firaun. One representing haq, truth, and one representing batil. So much confusion happening at that time too. In Firaun, he was being a what? What is the meaning of Firaun? That he was a tyrant. It was tyranny. Did Firaun like this or like that believe that there is an Allah? He did. But he hid the truth. And he says, Ana Rabbul Ala. I am your greatest Lord. When he was crossing the Red Sea, chasing after Musa alayhi salam and the Bani Israel, and the miracle where the sea split, and he brought his whole army, and the Bani Israel, that they are seeing the miracle, the karamat in front of their own eyes, but they're seeing the troops of Firaun chasing after them. They change their mind. They say, oh, they're going to come, they're going to catch us again. Why we're following you, Ya Musa? We were better off with them. Then Allah, through His Prophet Musa alayhi salam, closed the sea. Bani Israel all escaped. The sea covered. Firaun saw this, and he understood. He was going to say, I believe in the Lord of Musa. He was going to declare the Shahadat. After all the evil that he has done, Jibreel alayhi salam come down quickly from the paradises, came down and took mud and stopped his mouth from declaring Shahadat. Allah allowed it to happen. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was sent to bring down who? Namrud, another tyrant. This tyrant that says, your Lord is the king of the skies, I'm the king of the earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not like Namrud so much. He preferred Firaun. Now we're entering into the how beautiful, how layered, how complex spirituality is. Allah preferred Firaun. That's why Firaun is mentioned more times in the Quran than Namrud. Because Firaun, yes, he was a Firaun, but he was also fair to his people. His people. And Firaun, although he declared himself Lord to the people, privately, he says, you are Allah. I am just your creature. But I cannot help myself. This is my ego. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was sent. And they made such a big fire for him, that fire can be seen from where? Urfa. From Urfa all the way to Baghdad. And that time when they made the fire, they made sure it's not just a fire that they made. They did every action to celebrate the burning of Khalilullah, the friend of Allah, one. In that whole world, one. Burning the friend of Allah, and they made every action that they can make to show that Haqq is going to be completely destroyed. They made every disgusting wrong action to celebrate that. Anything that you can think of that is forbidden, that is wrong, they did it to celebrate. And when Ibrahim alayhi salam was thrown into the fire, the angels, they were all crying. And they're begging Allah, saying, Ya Rabbi, you're allowing your friend, one friend, the only one on earth, to be destroyed. And Allah says, go to him. Go to him and ask him if he needs your help. He was a tyrant. How was he destroyed? How was he destroyed? Through one mosquito. One mosquito with a broken leg entered into his ear, started eating his brain. And it was causing so much pain to him. He was taking a hammer and he was hitting his head. The pain became so much that now he hires someone to hit his head every time. That mosquito, which is growing big in his head by eating his brain, getting big to the size of a bird, eating his brain. Finally, he says, this hurting me so much. Hit it harder, and that one hit it, and it break open his head, and the mosquito flew out. One mosquito with a broken leg. Firaun was destroyed by what? Firaun was destroyed by the same element that was saving Musa alayhi salam. Water. Water. In Abu Jahil, in Abu Lahab. The name is Abu Jahil. The name is Abu Lahab. Their real names is showing their rank and their stature. Abu Jahil means what? The father of ignorance. Because that one is one of the richest, most powerful, most intelligent people. Same with Abu Lahab. Abu Lahab means the father of what? Fire. Because now they're using that intelligence, they're using their wealth, they're using everything that they have, and they understood that one which is from them, from their own flesh and blood. The Holy Prophet ﷺ was from their family. And they look down on him and they say, if anyone was going to be a prophet, it was going to be us, not you. You are orphan, camel herder. And they became the tyrants. And the Prophet ﷺ came to destroy tyranny. So what happened today? What happened now? What has this got to do with us now? We are listening to the sohbats of our Shaykh for years, decades, he's saying. What? It used to be there was one Firaun, one Namrud, one Abu Lahab, one Abu Jahil. Now, this whole world is filled with tyrants. It's filled with tyrants. Don't be so quick to say, oh, the regimes, they are tyrants. They are. The politicians, they are tyrants. The world leaders, they are tyrants. They are. But what about you? What about you and what about me? Shaykh Maulana is saying, if you smoke one cigarette, you're supporting the kingdom of shaitan. Now look to ourselves. Oh, you say, I don't smoke. What is it that we are doing that is supporting the kingdom of tyranny, the kingdom of shaitan that we're living in now? Now you see tyranny everywhere. What do tyrants do? How do tyrants keep their power? They terrorize. They terrorize. And now, everyone is just putting fear into each other's hearts. Everyone, from 7 years old to 70 years old, from Jews to Christians to Muslims, from rabbis to priests to imams to sheikhs, they become tyrants. Why is that? Because of hubub dunya, because of the love of the world. Because you're not believing in haqq anymore. Because those ones who are supposed to wake up the people are giving them more drugs to make them asleep. And those ones who are supposed to wake up, that you know, you have intelligence, everyone has intelligence, everyone can read, everyone can judge, everyone can criticize, but no one is waking up to understand. Nobody is waking up to understand. So many tyrants in this world, so many tyrannical actions in this world, but nobody is saying, we did it to ourselves. We did it to ourselves. Don't be so quick to say, oh, all these things that is happening to you, or the West, you did it to yourself. What about us Muslims? What about us? These things that is happening to us. How are these things happening? Why Allah is allowing it to happen? Why Allah is allowing this? You cannot say what is happening to the Muslim nation now, it is a blessing. No, it is a punishment. It is a curse. And it is through the hands of what? It used to be. When there is a punishment coming, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would allow the punishment to come because of what? The request of His prophets. Correct? Or His awliya, when they say they have gone too much to the wrong direction. This is the only way to make them to wake up. Or they do something wrong to their prophets and to their awliya, then the curse comes down to them. And now, what about the Muslims? Things that are happening to us in this world now. We're going to blame the West. We're going to blame others. Why it happened? Why Allah gave them the power to put the punishment to us? Something to think about. Something to understand. So that means you're a person who is walking on the ground, walking on the road, and you trip and you fall on your face, you hurt yourself. The Muslims are a nation that is walking on the Siratul Mustaqim. And we trip because we took a detour. We started following the path of those that Allah is not pleased with. Because we followed the path of those who have deviated. Because we followed the path of those ones who's pulling Allah's curse, because we're following the path and the ways of the unbelievers that the Holy Prophet ﷺ says, do not follow the unbelievers. Now, even to speak about believers and unbelievers, sheikhs, imams, scholars, alims, especially in the West, don't speak. It is not politically correct. Don't separate people. Don't say they are unbelievers. Oh, you are takfiri? They say only Allah can judge. Don't judge people. If you judge people, you're going to become like those terrorists, because they judge people. How quick, how convenient they are putting things. So now the Muslims, why Allah is giving the power to those ones, the unbelievers? If you walk on the street and you trip and you fall, what's the first thing you're going to do? Say, what's the first thing you're going to do? You get up. Then what do? First thing you do is you look behind. I guarantee every person who walks and they trip, immediately, sometimes even before they get up, they look behind to see what caused them to trip. This ummah didn't trip. We fell off the cliff. And we're still falling. You think this is something? We're still falling. But we're not looking back to see what is making us to trip. If we don't, and in this month of what? Safar. If we're not taking the time to understand, just as is the month of Safar, Safari, we are travelers in this world. This is not, don't find paradise or complete justice or fairness in this world. We are travelers to the other side. And in this month of Safar, where 700,000 curses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is letting it to fall to the first paradises, to the first skies. From this Safar and to next Safar, all those 700,000 curses, depending on who is there to pull those curses, it will fall from individuals to nations, to the whole entire ummah. In this month, we're knowing this, and we are not saying Astaghfirullah. We're not looking back. We fell. Astaghfirullah. As an ummah, we say, Allah put us high once. What was the reason for that? We did not have this many people. We did not have this much wealth. We did not have this much technology. We did not have this much literacy. We did not have this much anything that we have now. We have more than we had before. But Allah put us high when we had nothing. And now we have everything and we are down low. Lowest point ever in Islamic history. If we are not standing up and trying to understand how we fell, then to say Astaghfirullah, we're going to keep on falling. And no help is going to come. No help. What did the Ottomans they say? What do the awliya Allah they say? The ummah, we are suffering. Let me give you one simple explanation. Ummah is suffering because of the betrayal that we have shown to Sultan Abdul Aziz. Wait to see what Allah has prepared for the betrayal we've done for Sultan Abdul Hamid Khan. People are quick, alims, to say, oh, those ones who are holding high the Ottomans, they are dreaming. They are living in a fantasy world. They are romanticizing. Yeah, it's going to be very romantic for you. It's going to be those ones who are thinking like that, and anyone who is following them is going to be very romantic for you, with shaitan, with your ego in the hellfire. Very romantic, believe me. So we did something very bad and very wrong. If we're not getting up to say astaghfirullah, situation is not going to change. Because of the stubbornness. For a man to understand what he has done wrong, he needs just some time by himself to be reminded of that, to take away everything that is going to distract him, to understand. Who has time these days, from individuals to nations, for everyone to pull back and to say, think now. Pull yourself away from every distraction. Now think what we have done and ask for forgiveness. Yes, during the time of the Ottomans, they did that. As a whole empire, they did that. Every Thursday night, the whole empire shut down for zikr, to say astaghfirullah, to understand. Every holy day and holy night, the whole empire would shut down for the sake of Allah. If the Ottomans, they don't come back, don't expect to have any justice in this world. As you like, believe it or not. We are no one, but we are following someones. And those someones, they are taking their knowledge from somewhere. We are here because we want to prepare ourselves for Haqq. Everyone is saying we don't want war, we don't want war. I say wake up. War is already happening. It just hasn't reached your doorstep yet. The rest of the world is burning. It just hasn't reached to us yet. May Allah not test us. May He keep us clear and certain in these times of confusion. By holding on to those ones who are on the right way, by holding on to those ones who are clear. Don't expect to find clarity through our own minds. Just by looking here and there, you're going to find some clarity. Clarity and Haqq and truth, you can only get from the people of truth. They will give it to you. Hold on to it. Our intention is to hold on to the jubbah of our Shaykh and never let go. We are weak ones. If we rely on our own understanding, we definitely will fail, you and me. But we're holding on to our Shaykh, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring the one who is going to fix all these problems soon. May Allah send Mahdi alayhi salam soon. May we be ready for him. For the sake of the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. Sultan al-Awliya and Sahib al-Saif. Al-Fatiha.